Last weekend, it was the perfect day to fly. And I've got a whole series of tests I want to do on the Mini 4 Pro and the Neo, and in combination. Stay tuned for those, or they're posted up here or down below. We're getting towards the end of the year. Things are getting cold and windy. The times to fly can be very limited based on weather. I've been trying to get my teenagers interested in flying. They've been kind of on the fence. They don't want to be filmed. I said to my teenage kids, I'll make you a deal. I won't film you. You have two options. You can go rake leaves in the back, or you can come with me and fly quadcopters. So guess what option they picked? It was amazing. And I'm really glad I did it. And now they're all juiced up and excited about these quadcopters. So it got me thinking. We're getting into the holiday period where people buy a lot of stuff for kids, grandkids, teenagers. There's all sorts of great deals going on. Is it worth it to buy a quadcopter for yourself or a family member? Particularly kids. So let's get into some of the details, and I'll tell you the trade-offs between the Mini 4 Pro, the Neo, and how things have changed so much from the days when I started flying quadcopters and these were the options. You're on the fence about buying a quadcopter. I get it. They look pretty snazzy, they're high tech, they're a lot of fun, but which one do you get? Do you go with the Neo? Do you go with the Mini 4 Pro? Let's talk trade-offs. First of all, do not get this. This is something I got 7, 8, maybe even 10 years ago, and it was fun for its time, but this is a toy. These two are at a whole different level. Buy the Fly More kit. You won't regret getting it. Because on days where you want to fly, this one is lasting about 15 to 20 minutes, depending on what the conditions of the wind and things like that are. This one typically goes anywhere between 22 minutes and half an hour, again, depending on the wind conditions. You'll be all jazzed up, you're having a good time, and then all of a sudden, low battery comes, and you gotta land. And you're done, unless you have extra batteries. Now you'll see that I've got red tape on there. A couple reasons. Number one, if this ever goes down, the red tape really helps you find something that kind of can easily get camouflaged by the environment. Even the gray you would think would stand out, but it really doesn't without a little bit of red tape on there. And all you're using is electrical tape. So it weighs practically nothing. It's pretty reliable. I've never had it peel up. And if it does, for some reason, you just put some more tape on. A really good investment. And get the better quality tape, not the cheap tape. You could use purple if for some reason you're a purple person, or orange, or yellow. But my flight testing background, red was always the color we preferred, because I guess they did a whole bunch of tests and figured out red stands out better than any other color. Otherwise, I guess we'd have purple on our aircraft. When I went out with my teenagers, first time they've ever flown either one of these birds, they did play around with something like this, but they lost interest, pretty much because it's what? A toy. I started them out on this. Why? Because this is like 4 or 5 times more expensive than this is. This is totally unsponsored. DJI is not giving me a penny. But let me tell you what's in this Fly More kit. Basically, this and this, I bought it for $295, almost $300 for the extra 2 batteries, the battery charger, cable, and the aircraft. This was $1,200 with tax, and it came with this nice bag, and it came with the RC2 controller. Not this, this was extra. And it does have this nice little lockdown to protect the blades. I feel like you're getting ripped off because I know the batteries don't cost that much to make, but you don't want to go with off-brand batteries, because the last thing you want to do is either melt down your aircraft or lose it. And we started them out with the Neo and the smartphone. They did the follow me mode, they did the rocket mode, they did the various modes, and then we actually flew it with manual controls. And they had kind of fun. You would really have to go out of your way, and I still don't think you could crash it because it auto lands with the smart app. So then what I did is I took them and we flew with the DJI Neo and the RC2 controller. They've both agreed, big deal of difference between what you can do with the controller and the smartphone app. I want to use goggles. They're supposedly available, but they're out of stock. Can't wait to get a set, and I'll use that little hand controller. Future video up here and down below. And they really enjoyed this. I was amazed they had never flown a quadcopter like this before. Felt very comfortable controlling it. They really put it through the paces. They wanted to do barrel rolls, all that stuff. We didn't go there. And we just kept it in normal mode, and they had a lot of fun. Once I felt confident that they couldn't destroy this, I decided to upgrade them to more of a Ferrari quadcopter, the Mini 4 Pro. And they really liked this. And once they had built up the confidence here, they felt comfortable here. In fact, maybe too comfortable, because they were trying out the collision avoidance and really kind of putting it through the paces. And again, really aggressively flying it around the sky. Here's the verdict. Which one would I buy if I was a parent or a grandparent or a friend or even a person that wants to buy a quadcopter and start getting into the experience? Which one would I buy? The Neo or the Mini 4 Pro? Cost-wise, you really can't beat the Neo. $200 for the aircraft, $300 for the Fly More package. Get the Fly More package if you're going to buy it. You'll be glad you did. It's just another $100. This thing is a tank in the air. Durable. It's really well designed. It can give you some really good pictures and video. It's a little whiny, and you can hear it on various videos posted up here and down below that I've done testing on. But the great thing about when you record things using the smartphone app, it cancels out the sound of the whiny propellers. And it comes out pretty good, especially with a couple of the software updates that have happened recently. If you're concerned that maybe something like this might overwhelm your teenager or your kid, got it. It's not cheap. Go with the DJI Neo with the smartphone app. Now there is another controller. I didn't buy it. I could fly both of these with the RC2 controller. So you could get this and this, but there's another controller posted down below, which I think would work out perfectly fine and give you all the capabilities that you have here with the Neo. Except for you won't have the screen here. You'll have to put on a smartphone on that controller and mount it up something like this. If you're going to get this quadcopter, get the RC2 controller and the Fly More package. It's well worth it. You can do some incredible things. And I also have some videos where you can attach a microphone into here, and I've filmed bands and all sorts of things where you can capture sound and the quadcopter at the same time. This will also give you great readings on speed and altitude for both the Neo and the Mini 4 Pro. And it's really a great control space. The great thing about these controls, as you can see, is they go right back to the center. They have great spring loading. That's not new. A lot of controllers like this have had that before. If for some reason you feel like you're getting over your head on trying to figure out how to fly this thing, just let go of the controls, take the PIO, pilot induced oscillation, out of the loop, and the aircraft just stops in the air. It's amazing, even in heavy winds. Heavy winds, this is going to be your winner. Much higher quality video and more responsiveness. Now, if you want to get into tight places, and I've done all sorts of videos on this in confined areas, posted up there, down below, you'll notice that it rejects it because it's trying to get out of the way. Collision avoidance. This has no collision avoidance. It's like a preschooler that just runs into everything and comes out okay and bounces back okay. I'm going to do a whole bunch of tests where I run into a whole bunch of things. Future videos posted somewhere around here and on my channel. But this is a tank. and you can pretty much really take it through its paces and you'll be safe. So if you got a little more money and you want a better experience, a little longer, a little higher fidelity, and maybe, you know, be able to fly it in higher winds in different conditions, this would be the one you want to invest in. If you're not sure and you just want to start exploring the space in quadcopters, don't go for a cheap one. Go for the Neo. Probably the best bang for your budget that you possibly can have. It's unbelievable what this Neo can do. Thumbs up and comments, always appreciated. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in evaluations of quadcopters, all sorts of gear, pontoons, crazy things like that, making and breaking things, home repairs, designs of all kinds, I even do costumes, cosplay, and props. Check out my channel and please subscribe, because you never know what you're gonna see.